buckled back like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dinner Spurling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dinner Spurling Podcast. Tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies. Hands on your knees, you can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens, we obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil, they tryna eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters, peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass, Dennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass, Dennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else.
Gotta watch your back, even family that's amongst you. Got a slut ass auntie and a cool ass uncle. Kinda won't front you, but let you ride the whip around the block like a stunt. Don't do a lot of bumping. When your mama call when her ex-man jumping, all you see is feet and her ex-man stumping. That's my Uncle D, that's why the Blizzard King coming. Hot girl winter, Blizzard King summer. My we's a coming. No singing and no humming, talking we shall overcome it. Got him leaking, I'm the plumber. My nigga made Zoom look cool, yeah, you funny. What else Uncle D gotta prove more money? Overlook the tunes, if gotta shun him. Brotherhood over any woman. Cause if she play her role, then she fam, then she good. When we say brother, my sister, we mean the hood. Now homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge, your dish it just how you want. He just run his mouth and that bullshit we debunk. In a sunken place, he's sinking that sunk. He don't even drinking, I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drinking, I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. Brand good, suit and tie, lawyer reppin' manhood. He don't tap dance, he overstand, he playing good. Titles don't get it, most of us getting ambushed. Mayonnaise, clam bush, buck broken, man tush. Woke up in the morning, got walk, that's on my mind. Peace can only come when you're low and order divine. Hey, I stay entwined, you keep a criminal mind. How you think I shine and stay from falling behind? He got open eyes and can't see it, he blind. You nice all the time, they tell you water is wine. Slaughter all your sons and leave your daughters behind. All she wanna do is flash that big behind. The music is the garbage they use to take you down. You used to rap intelligent, now you rapping like clowns. My prerogative, you thinking like Bobby Brown. Rest in peace to Whitney, Christina, that's underground. Wake up years later, you've been around. Water up to your neck and watching him as you drown. How you scoring touchdown again and you out of bounds? All the black men getting passports out of town. Homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge, your dishes just how you want. He just run his mouth and that shit we debunk. In the sunken place, he singing that good song. He don't even drink and I tell you that the drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that good drunk. Nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. My Uncle D, 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 favorite uncle, Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, favorite uncle, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my favorite uncle, Blizzard King, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, my favorite uncle, what? Uncle D, my favorite uncle, my Uncle D. My Uncle D, yeah, Uncle D.
Yeah. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Big up to my man Mark the freelancer, everybody in the chat room, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as you come in, man. It's always good to be up in here, man. I want to make sure I give a shout out to everybody who came through to the Manosphere 4.0. Hit the number 1 button as you come in. Anyway, somebody type broke in the chat room. Somebody type broke in the chat room. Stop begging. Somebody type stop begging in the chat room. Somebody, please type stop begging in the chat room. Okay? I want you fellas to understand that you've got to make sure that the women that you decide to be with actually contribute something to the relationship. Okay? The women that you decide to be with shouldn't be broke and begging. Okay, I saw this post up. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and I'll try to put it up real quick. But I'm gonna do something like some video reviews today, and it's just to let you fellas know what the mentality is out there, man. It's just pathetic, man. But either way, my name is Dennis Spurling. I am also known as Uncle D. I'm also known as the Blizzard King. I'm a podcaster. I'm a Hall of Fame attorney, according to the Southern University Law Center, my school in which I got my JD from, and a business owner and a father. I want to give a big shout out to all my members. We're trying to get the membership back up significantly. Big shout out to everybody who's coming through on the Cash App. Shout out to Steph Cam. Big shout out to Mark the freelancer, Reverend Kevin Powell. Big shout out to the Black Manosphere 4.0. It was a great weekend here in Houston, man, and I had a good time being the keynote speaker there. But anyway, somebody type drizzle in the chat room. Let's go ahead and get this popping. I want to share a few videos with you guys. And the first one is this. Well, let me just say it like this. I think I speak for all of you men when I say, well, let me say it like this. Every man needs to understand that money, power, and status, you need to understand those concepts. And these 3 things are what build our lives, what we should be building our lives around as related to our high value or increasing our value as men. And whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, okay, or are you building a business, or you're establishing your legacy, money and power are the tools that help you make an impact. But here's the thing. All the money and power and status in the world means nothing if the woman standing next to you is only taking. Somebody type only taking in the chat room. Somebody type she's a taker in the chat room. Come on now. Somebody type she's a taker in the chat room. Come on, fellas. We're going to get tight tonight. Somebody type she's a taker in the chat room. All the money in the world doesn't matter if the woman you dealing with is a taker. You understand what I'm saying? Then she's not contributing. Okay? Now, if she's contributing, fair exchange, no robbery. But if all she's doing is taking, number one, you're a fool for dealing with that. And of course, you're not going to be able to change that. She's a taker. All right. Now, a man on a mission needs a woman who's going to help him build, who's going to contribute to the mission, not just financially, but emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. You see, that's a real woman of value right there. A woman who adds value, who supports her man's vision and pushes him to be better. That's the kind of woman who helps you elevate your status. And if she's only in it to receive, to take, and to drain, then she's not helping you build your empire. Somebody type empire in the chat room. Okay? She's breaking it down. That's all she's doing is breaking it down. So let's keep it 100. Somebody type 100 in the chat room. It's crucial that the woman by your side is a contributor, not just a bystander. And if she's not being if she's not bringing anything to the table, and she's not helping you maintain grow your money, power, status, then gentlemen, it's time for you. Let me just say this: you can't afford her. Now, this young lady, I believe her name is Shira 7. I don't know her very well. I haven't watched any of her broadcasts. I only know her by her reputation. I'm going to try to let this video play here because she said some really interesting things here related to, I guess, how to find rich men in Houston. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you gonna play this advice. So take a look at this. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Let me know if you guys can hear. Hit the number 1 button if you can hear that. Fair use. Yeah. Let me know if y'all can hear that. Can you guys hear this? Are you all able to hear this? Let me know if you can hear this. Listen, here we go. Somebody said they can't hear. All right. All right. You guys saying you can't hear what she's saying? You can't hear what she's saying? Let me see if I can fix this. Basically, what this young lady is trying to do is school other women on. Somebody apparently asked her the question of, how do you find rich men in Houston, Texas, place where I live? Basically, she's looking for the circles of men that have money. I happen to travel in those circles, and I know where they are and what they do, and it just comes with the territory. Birds of a feather flock together. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, business people. So let's see if you can hear it this time. I'm gonna try it now. Yeah, bam.
Where are the rich men in Houston?
Fair use.
They're out during the daytime at the in the rich
it?
areas of town, in the bars or the restaurants, sitting at the bars or
Can you guys hear that? She's basically saying the rich men
the uptown
Houston.
area. Go to the area where there's like expensive sports bars when there's sports teams playing. They're at the games of like basketball and football games, in the front row or in the boxes. VIP valet park and go to a game. Get you some cheap seats, but pay for valet parking. And in the area, you'll be able to mingle.
Somebody type cheap seats in the chat room.
Go to like little bars after the game that are close by. A lot of people go out to eat or hang out in little bars after that. You might be a little player or whatnot. You don't know. Uptown, downtown, bars, happy hours next to like really nice office buildings, all those kind of places in Houston. That's where you need to go.
Lord.
In any town, really.
All right, so let's listen. Basically, what she's trying to do is school women on where they can meet rich men here in the city of Houston, and she basically said that applies to all towns. Well, I would say the different towns have a different vibe. If you're in Miami and you want to meet somebody rich, you may want to go to a sports club where people are actually doing exercise. If you in Houston, I don't necessarily know, because it's a different vibe. Every city has a different vibe to it. Now, the thing is, first thing you have to understand is that most men with money have someone, either a wife, a girlfriend, a woman that they deal with, who is of high caliber, who is accepted in their circles. In other words, here's what I need you ladies to understand, and let me get in tight. We don't mix the wives with the 304s. And once the wives have accepted a certain woman, that's who they expect to see you with. See, your status level also depends on the type of woman, the type of company you keep. And if the women who are with these high value men see that all you do is bring around new chicks all the time, then they're basically going to tell their husbands, their men, that they don't want to hang around you, and therefore you're going to be ostracized. That's how that works. So the fact that you might meet a man with money who's dropping off his car in the VIP section, because that's what she said. Just go Drop your car off in the VIP section to just loiter there for a little while, and you'll meet somebody. They'll pull up in their Bentley. They're not going to just look. Let me just be straight up with you, baby. And for all you women, look. These men rather deal with a high-end call girl than mess with some chick off the street, some regular chick off the street. Because a high-end call girl at least understands her place. You're going to meet her, you're going to greet her, you're going to meet her at the Four Seasons, you're going to meet her at one of these other fancy hotels, and then you're going to be done. It's going to be in and out. It's going to be the middle of the day type stuff. When you see dudes at bars hanging out, they're meeting hookers. Let me just keep it 100. It's a spot on Kirby. I believe it's called, I don't know, it's not Steak 48. It's Scott something. The old dudes go there to meet hookers. High-end, they meet their high-end call girls there in the middle of the day, and then they slide on back to their wife later on that night. Shout out to my man, the Salty Balls. He said, Diane adorns herself with the mane of 1,000 horses, with delusions of riches for she surrounds herself in the company of merchants, barristers, physicians, seeking scraps that drop from the royal table of feast. Man, it's good to have you back. Deacon Salty Balls has returned. Yeah, man. So, shout out to my man Cody Marshall. What up, bro? Getting ready for this song. Yeah, I know, man. I know. But so she's already off base. So I'm gonna break this down for you. But again, you will get ostracized from your social circle if you keep bringing around loose 304s. Because at the end of the day, whether these men are white or black, they have women, and those women associate the main woman that you bring around, and they judge you by that woman that you bring around. So if you constantly bringing around 304s, you got a new one every 2 or 3 days, you're gonna get put out. You're gonna get put out the social circle, and that will eventually affect your money, your power, and your clout. You're just gonna be known as a whoremonger, and you're gonna get ostracized from the group. So what she's telling you, you might be able to meet these men. You might be able to get a few dollars off of them, but you have to work your way into these social circles. And ladies, nobody is going to deal with a broke woman who's already rich and established, not in any serious way. It just goes against what we know to be a wise decision. And I know that's hard to hear because it basically says I'm better than that. And most women don't want to hear that their vagina is not enough to lasso in any man. But we'll listen to this young lady, and I'm speaking from the position of a man who has money, prestige, and associates with the men who hang out at these places that she says, whether it be judges, presidents of corporation, other lawyers, doctors. We hang out together and we have conversations and we let each other know through no uncertain terms, man, we don't mix 304s with wives. We don't mix 304s with our main women. That just goes against the code. That's gonna make everybody look bad, and you don't do that. So let's go ahead and break this down. Y'all make sure you all hit the number 1 button as you come in. Let me go ahead and try to cue this back up again, and let's see. So she's off base as far as that. That's clearly an outsider speaking. Money attracts money. Okay. Let's listen to her again.
Where are the rich men in Houston?
Where are the rich men in Houston? If you guys could hear that, type number 1.
They're out during the daytime at the in the rich areas of town in the bars. Or
the rich men in you. Did y'all hear what she said? The rich men in Houston are out during the daytime at the bars. Now, here's what you got to understand. Rich men in Houston typically aren't going out. Okay? Rich men in Houston, rich men anywhere typically have things to do, or depending on the type of man, they may be at home. Because oftentimes when you get to a certain level, you're at home, you're doing business. A lot of business is done before 12 o'clock. So you're up early in the morning, you're making phone calls. If you have a job like a judge or lawyer, if you have an actor, you don't have time to hang out in the bar. Who's going to the bar in the middle of the day and you have a Zoom call at 1:30? That's not how we get down. You're taking flights, you're going different places. A lot of people use Houston as a main hub, but for you guys, I don't have time to hang out in the bar in the middle of the day. Are you kidding me? I'm not hanging out. The guys that are hanging out in the bar in the middle of the day are looking for high-end call girls. That's what they're looking for. Okay? That's what they're not looking for wife material. Now, if you want to present yourself as that type of, a working lady, then, by all means, go hang out in the bars in the middle of the day when guys are consuming alcohol. But this is not where men of substance, high-value men hang out. You may be able to be in their presence, but they will see you in a certain way. Let's keep listening.
The restaurants, sitting at the bars, or they're at the country clubs, the tennis clubs. They are at the go to Uptown area. Go to the.
Now, when she's talking about the Uptown area, are you guys familiar with the Galleria, Houston? It's a famous place. Here's the thing: people who have money don't hang out at the Galleria anymore. There are other places on Westheimer, the places where we purchase, like, the place where I go visit and I purchase my Rolex watch, the place where there's a nice friend. That's where we hang out, because we quickly realized about 10 years ago, 15 years ago now, the Galleria area is ghetto. A lot of people come in from out of town. It's become popular. It's become a tourist spot. And so a lot of people show up from all these different places and they go there to be seen. You got rappers in there. And, all money don't mingle. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to mingle with rapper money. I don't really even want to mingle with sports figure money. I'm cool with the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, the businessmen. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of athletes because I don't like the crowd they bring. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of rappers because I don't like the crowd they bring. And so they can have the Galleria. That's the Uptown area. That's not where I hang out. That's not where the real money. Well, let me say, it's a lot of people with a few dollars that hang out over there who may have got it in some of these industries, entertainment, and that's cool. Do your thing. But the people of any substance, the ones with the mansions and so on and so forth, over in the more River Oaks, they're not hanging out there. On top of that, a lot of people Houston is separated into like 4 different places. You got Clear Lake, you got Galveston, you got the Woodlands, you got, I would say, Pearland area, you got Katy, you got the Sugarland area. So, we're out in the outskirts, okay? There are still people who want to live inside the loop, and that's cool if you like that city life. But for the most part, we're out on our estates. You see, we're hanging out. We're chilling. We're working. We've moved out of the city. So, and if I do come to the city, it's gonna come to a show, and I'm gonna have my woman with me. Again, the men that are hanging out in the middle of the day, they might have money, but they're looking for 304s. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. That's where we go to. Most intelligent men don't eat where they poop, if that makes sense. Let's keep listening.
The area where there's like expensive sports bars when there's sports teams playing, they're at the games of, like basketball and football.
Yeah, they're going to be at the games with their family. They're going to be at the games with their children. They're going to be at the games with their wives. Okay. I'm not going to a expensive basketball game. I'm not going to go to a basketball game and buy a $2,000 seat so I can hit on some chick who's up in the rafters. Okay. Because I already understand why you're there. Most of those women who come to basketball games and football games really don't know anything about the sport at all. They don't know the players. They don't know what's going on. They're just coming there to try to meet a baller. And if that baller is playing basketball or football, fine. If they meet someone who's a regular baller, a regular rich person, they're fine with that. But for the most part, we already have peeped out what you're trying to do. You're there to meet somebody rich because you're broke, okay? If you had money, I would already know you, or I would know somebody who knows you. That's what you don't. Also, the other thing you all don't understand, people with money know each other. We know each other through school. We know each other through university. We know each other through the different private schools our children attend, the different clubs. I mean, hell, if your money begins to separate you from people. Let's say, for instance, a lot of people think, yeah, my kid's playing football. Yeah, that's cool. Well, football is what, 3 months out the year, maybe 4 months out the year. What does it cost? A couple $100 to put your kid in. Well, something like jujitsu is about $250 a person. And so if you got a whole family there, that's $1,000 a people. If 2 kids and the wife, plus yourself, that's real money. And so that is what separates you. They can't even participate in the activities you participate in. That's just something to think about. And the boxes, the real boxes, like when you go to ball games and whatnot, shout out to my man, Cody Marshall. When you go to the ball, those suites and boxes, that's like for the major corporations like Honda, Coca-Cola, when you go to a Texans game or something like that. And yeah, you might have some business friends to go hang out, but that's not something that you do all the time. And who wants to deal with the parking unless you're just a big fan? So she's off base.
Games in the front row or in the boxes, VIP, valet parking, valet park,
Listen
go to
to
a
this.
game, get you some cheap seats.
She say valet park. So you can valet park at the games. And then you have cheap seats. So her hope is in that short time period where these successful men are valet parking their vehicles, you'll have an opportunity to be seen and let them see you. And hopefully they will bite the bait and hit on you. And so here's my thing, man. You got to be a real cockhound to be headed to watch, the Texans play the Packers and then be sidetracked by a chick. I just want you to understand, if you're really into football, if you're really into basketball, you don't even like your woman walking in front of the TV when you're trying to enjoy the game. Do you really think these guys want to hit on a woman after they finally got free from the house, they got their gear on, they're ready to go hang out at the game and have a good time and unwind? Do you really think they want to hit on some broke chick? You don't think we can size you up really quickly by what you're wearing and how you carry yourself and what your teeth look like and what your hair looks like, what your nails look like? See, I'm looking all in your stuff. I want to know if you had your hair lasered off your nose. I mean, off your lips. I can look at your legs and see how well you take care of yourself. If your skin is not a certain smoothness, I know you're not well taken care of. Nobody has spent that $3,000 or given you that $3,000 for the hair removal. I can look at a woman's makeup and tell whether or not it's caked on. They have apps now where you can take a picture of a woman and the makeup will be removed from her face so you can see what she looks like even beforehand. So, but nevertheless, we can tell women that are well taken care of and women that aren't. Men who have experience. I'm not just going to be bedazzled. There's not going to be enough time for me parking my vehicle and getting to my section for you to talk to me. I'm just not going to talk to you. And another thing is, wealthy men why would we approach you? There's absolutely no way I'm going to waste my time approaching you, especially as paranoid as you become when you have money, especially in this climate. Okay. So I'm just saying, just this is off base.
But pay for valet parking.
Yeah.
And in the area, you'll be able to mingle. Go to.
You're not gonna have time. I mean, nobody's gonna mingle with you at the parking area. There's gonna be too many people walking through there. Cars are you're trying to get in and get your seats and watch the kickoff or the jump ball. That's what you're trying to do. This is off base. This ain't gonna work.
Little bars after the game that are close by.
The bars after the game that are close by. So the game ends at night, and you're telling me these wealthy people who are riding around in their Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benzes are going to pull up at a bar in Houston, Texas, when we have a crime rate, and they got to drive 40 miles to Katy, or they got to drive 30 miles to Sugar Land. Is that and we got to fight traffic. This is what you do. Just bad advice. Just bad advice. That's not where you eat. That's not where you meet successful men.
A lot of people go out to eat or go to hang out in little bars after that. You might meet
a lot of people do that, but rich people don't do that. Why would we do that?
Little player or whatnot. You don't know.
Especially if you're rich and famous and you know people. You don't want people seeing you out and about drinking and hanging out and you're the CEO of a company. That's not going to happen.
Oh. Uptown, downtown, bars, happy hours next to like really nice office buildings.
Happy hours next to really nice office buildings. So we have a downtown, we have a happy hour. There are some people who socialize, but remember, Houston is also a college town. So you're going to have a lot of young people out there socializing, middle management, employees. But I always tell my people, man, don't get caught out there with alcohol in your hand right next to the building where you work. Your reputation carries. People see you were just drinking last night. Now you're here, rough night, huh? Now you got a lot of work to do. That's your reputation. And again, when you start hanging, those guys who are hanging out at bars after work, they're either looking to unwind or they're looking for 304s. Okay, that's it. You're not gonna make the cut. And yeah, of course, there's always exceptions, but I'm just telling you what I know.
All those kind of places in Houston, that's where you need to go.
Yeah.
Okay? In any town, really.
Not really any town. Every town is different. New York is different. Miami is different. LA is different. It's just a different vibe, different industries. Nevertheless, here's the other thing I want you guys to understand. Both men and women are tired of broke women. Okay, we're tired. We're frustrated. We peep the game. Are y'all with me? Hit the number one button. I mean, I just think this needs to be said. We are tired and frustrated with broke women who expect others to pay their way in relationships. Okay, and the frustration stems from the imbalance this creates, where one person, usually the man, is constantly given financially or otherwise, while the other contributes little or nothing. In these situations, it feels as though the relationship is just transactional. Okay, and with this woman, this one person benefiting from being taken care of without reciprocating any meaningful ways. And for men, the frustration comes from being expected to handle all the financial burdens, whether it's paying for bills, outings, gifts, while receiving very little in return. And the perception is that some women view relationships as opportunities to be pampered without offering any support or growth, help in any way. And, you know, men are getting tired of that, okay? Men are just getting flat out tired of it. And even women are getting tired of it. I want to share with you all a video that I saw the other day. And I wanted to put it up for you guys real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. You know, and I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of men who are listening to this video. And then I'm sure there's a few women in here. You are tired of those broke friends that you have to carry. Somebody type no more broke friends in the chat room. You know, and I'm not talking about the friends you came up with. I'm talking about people who should be established, who you met out and about, or you know from a professional setting, and they still expect you to pay for it. Can you imagine? There are women out there who themselves are tired of women who simply want to use them. Now, this video I'm gonna pull up right now is another video of another woman out here in these streets. And apparently they had all gone to some sort of, I guess, some sort of event or birthday party or something like that. And let this video play. You guys let me know if you can hear it. Hit the number one button.
For her, because why she go to the bathroom when it's time?
So basically, these ladies are all out and about. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Pay the bill. She always do that. They just brought the bill. How much is it? Here she comes.
Fair use.
I said, they just got the bill. We just gonna split it 5 ways. Split it 5 ways.
So for you all who can't hear what's being said, basically she's saying, we're all out for somebody's birthday party, okay? And apparently there are 5 people at the table, and one of them is a birthday guest or whatever. And so they're gonna split it 5 ways. And this chick right here is saying, I'm not paying for nothing. All I got was some lettuce and water. That in itself lets everybody know that you are broke. You came out with no money. You shouldn't be coming out with money. And if the waiter is, what waiter wants to split the ticket 5 different ways for one table? You don't tip worth a darn. So you just broke. Let's keep listening to this. So this is what the argument is about.
I want to split it 5 ways. It's my birthday. We out to eat. It's 5 of us. Okay, but I only drank water and I only ate lettuce. I only ate lettuce.
Somebody type water and lettuce in the chat room. Somebody type water and lettuce in the chat room. Praise God. Somebody type lettuce and water in the chat room.
Listen, I only drunk water. Are you serious right now? I am serious.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, and I don't know why y'all scooted this over. I tasted
I don't know why y'all scooted this over. All I did was taste it.
Stuff. I didn't eat it. So I'm only going to pay for this lettuce and drinking this water. Girl, we not doing that. We not doing that tonight. Not tonight. We're going to split it 5 ways. It's going to be easy, and we can go on to the next spot.
We're going to split it 5 ways. It's going to be easy. We go on to the next spot. Praise God.
Split it 5 ways because I didn't eat. I didn't eat this. Crazy. No, what's crazy is y'all thinking I'm going to split it 5 ways, and I only had lettuce. I only ate this lettuce, and y'all ain't going to force me to pay 5 ways.
Look, these are women, right? So fellas, it's not that it's okay. So a lot of times when you go out on dates with women, they'll call you cheap if you don't want to pay their way. All right. But it's also other women who are saying you're cheap. You don't even want to pay your own way. You sat here at this table at a birthday party. You decided to come. You wanted to socialize, but you don't have any money or you're too cheap. You don't manage your money. Just think about what we're dealing with here. Stop begging. Stop begging. Okay? Somebody type stop begging in the chat room. Stop begging. Okay, ladies, you got to stop all this begging.
And y'all eating good, and I only had lettuce and water.
Okay. Y'all eating good, and all I had was lettuce and water. That's what you chose, baby. You should have stayed home if you didn't have any money to eat with. Bless your heart. Bless your little heart. You didn't have any money to eat with. You should have stayed home.
I tasted your stuff, but
I tasted your stuff. Then that's just sad.
This is what we do. We deal and then we leave. Okay. We have nothing to do. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not doing that. Look. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, you knew we was coming out here today. Okay, well, you knew that.
Oh no.
Okay, well,
she just dropped $2 on the table, and the bill was like $70 or something like that. Drop $2.
Y'all feel like that? You know what? Y'all ain't even got to take me back to my car because I can Uber. I can Uber, and I'm not. Girl, if you can Uber, you can help with this deal. Okay, happy birthday to you. Sorry.
Happy birthday. Look. Hey man, look. Back when I was hanging out, man, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, some of my lady friends. I had got to the point I started traveling overseas, and so I was basically in my full-fledged passport bro phase. By about 2014, I was dating fine Dominicans, fine Colombians. And so when I started coming back to the US, things just were perceived different. I took that flight. You know that flight when you come home and you just upset about being there and you just can't wait to get back. And so women here in the United States, it's beautiful women here in Houston, they didn't really have that same effect on me that they used to have. Okay, and I just had come into my own. I was 4 years out of my divorce. And before that, I would hang out with women. I would do the same thing. We'll go to brunch. I put them all in the car, and I used to have a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I used to go over to the U of H and round up the whole girls dancing team and just come on, hop in the SUV, and we'll go hit the scene. Shout out to my man Jay Rome. He said water lettuce had a homegirl that did this every time our group went out to eat. Incredibly annoying. Right. So anyway, on this one particular occasion, the ladies were so used to me just, spending freely and whatnot. But again, they wasn't as cute to me as they were before I started traveling overseas. I didn't see the Colombian women at that point. I'm like, hold on a minute, y'all ain't really that cute. So anyway, so I'm sitting there at the table. I showed up late. When I got there, it was already like 4 women at the table. I think it was an African chick, a couple of African chicks, a Latina and a black American woman. And they was trying to get me to order something. I'm like, no, I'm good. I just drank some water. I'm on a diet. You know what I'm saying? I think this is that year I had dropped like 80, 100 pounds. And so I was really slim and fit. And so the bill came and they was trying to get me to pay it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just had some water. I think I paid my bill. It was like $4 or $5. I'm like, yeah, split the check. Man, if they didn't look at each other like that, they had the same look that this chick right here had. See this chick right here? They had that same look about their eyes like, oh, no. Oh. And I just laughed my butt off because I'm like, y'all really thought I was going to come over here and pay for y'all food that y'all have already eaten. I haven't even seen. So basically, you wanted me to pay to be in your presence. I'm like, girl, please. Y'all was just entertainment. I just did that because I was bored. It's not about you. It's about me, baby. I do what I want to do. And I just laughed. I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever heard because they really thought that they had me there to pay. And of course, before, I was chilling. I was going through a lot. So I spent some money here and there. But, after I started traveling overseas, American women just lost their luster. And so, man, they had to, they start digging in their purses. They get real fidgety when they have to start digging in their purses. Like they get to, they get to shaking and when they women start having to pull money out their purse that they didn't plan on pulling out, they digging into their fingernail money and stuff. Oh no, they was mad. But they all had that same look right there, that same look. And I just thought that was hilarious, man. That was just hilarious. But
this is exactly right. Next time you
does that look like PF Chang's or something like that? Is that PF Chang's?
Always do this.
Every time. That's your broke friend. They always do it. People are tired of broke women. We're tired of you broke. Women are tired of broke women. Everybody's tired of broke, begging women.
Expecting her to do this on your birthday. Every time. It's a special day. For real, she shouldn't be. Let her go. Bye. We don't need her here.
They had a little Chinese restaurant somewhere. It's $79, man. That's probably one of the cheapest places you can get food at. Chinese food.
She's not throwing with us no more. Look at her.
Look, she out there walking. Look at that walk. Yeah.
That's what she did. So y'all really gonna make me Uber? Exactly. You only put $2.
What city is that in, man? Is anybody recognize that city? What city is this? Is this Detroit or something like that? Where are they? Where are they?
You should have kept the $2 for the bus.
What kind of friends are y'all?
You should have kept the $2
$2 for the bus. Lord Jesus. This is how women treat other women who are broke. So fellas, don't feel bad. This is how they treat each other. Okay? Come on, let's keep listening.
It's my birthday and you walking out.
What if something happened to me while walking though? That's on you.
Okay. Ooh, you heard what she said. What if something happened to me when I'm out and about? Now she's trying to throw the guilt and the shame and play the victim role on it. What if something happened? That's on you. And you think we cold on each other. They cold. So they look, what I'm saying is women recognize when they running game. They recognize when they trying to hustle you out of something. They don't even allow each other to do it. It doesn't work on women because they don't allow it to work. They can't challenge her manhood. You not even a real man. How dare you try to make me pay half or something like that? You see what I'm saying, man? So, fellas, it's okay to say no.
Hey, you know what?
Shoot.
Look at the teeth when she look at her teeth. Look at that. She mad hitting the car. Get your fingers off my paint job. Look at these teeth.
Okay,
watch this. Watch. Oh, look at them teeth, boy. Look at these. Ooh, somebody screenshot that and blow it up and email it to me. Look at that. That's anger right there. I'm broke. Y'all making me walk home. My little hustle con didn't work on y'all. I couldn't sister girl my way through. Everybody's tired of broke, begging women. Okay? Everybody's tired. Somebody said, you smell that desperation. Yeah, look at the teeth, though, man. Look at the teeth, man. She got the little high school Letterman jacket on and everything. Look, you're mad, baby girl. You're mad. You hitting people. Lord. They proceed to leave her behind. You hear me? They left her behind, fam. You understand what I'm saying? Ooh-wee, that's a lot to deal with. But anyway, like I said, look, like I'm trying to tell y'all, man, people are tired of broke women. And fellas, it's not just you. It's not you, and I've told you that all the time. It's not us. It's never been black men. It's always been the lovely ladies who've been the problem, okay? And now, even the lovely ladies are getting tired of the lovely ladies, okay? And here's the thing. As I said before, in these situations, it feels as though, and whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship relationship, you're always forced to take care of people, you see, without any reciprocation. They said she did it all the time. And for men, the frustration comes from being expected to handle all the financial burdens. It's wrapped up in your manhood. You're not a real man if you don't pay $200-$300 for a meal. I saw a post today where this chick said, basically she's saying, and shout out to everybody who's contributing to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. I appreciate y'all for this good roasting that we're doing right now. But now it's serious, man. Life is difficult. Things are not easy anymore. We don't have money to spare. A lot of the generations are now, you're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with a lot. And the last thing you should be expected to do is spend your money on some woman who's only trying to use you and not contributing. If she's not putting in, if she's not helping out, she's not contributing, she should get none of your money. Court and be damned. If you want to court, cook me some dinner, boo. That's how we're going to court. Now, look at the nerve of this. I want you all to look at this screenshot, or should I say this little post that I put up. I had put it up much earlier. But look at this. This is what's circulating now. The minimum I'm going to say man, and they mean black man, should send via Cash App for breakfast. So picture this. You're not even with this woman, okay? You're not even with this woman, and she says she wants breakfast, and she wants you to Cash App $50, $80 for lunch, $100 for gas, brunch, $150, dinner, $200, nails and makeup. I guess this is the minimum you're supposed to send her. Outfit, $300, wig install. I got to pay for your wig, baby girl. So if I don't like you, can I take the wig back? Can I repossess the wig? Is that what's going on? I mean, look at these unreal expectations. This is weird. This is just weird. This is broke. This is not boss B babble. This is broke B babble. Okay. This is broke broad babble in the chat room. Somebody type broke broad babble in the chat room. This is absolutely ridiculous. And so, as I said, fellas, for men, the frustration comes when you're actually expected to handle all these financial burdens. Hair, nails, all this stuff. And there's no expectation that you should not expect to receive anything in return. And the perception is that women view these relationships not with sincerity, but as opportunities to be taken care of, to be pampered, and they're not offering any support. And women, who are self-sufficient and independent, right? They're also tired of it, right? And the fact that you got these other women who reinforce these stereotypes that women should be dependent on others, and then you got the ones who fake like they're strong, independent, and don't need a man, and they're dependent. Now, we went a long way to dispel some of these what they said outdated gender dynamics that allegedly made it harder for women, right, who value equality and mutual contributions and relationships, and they want to be taken seriously. But now you have a regression. Okay. Ultimately, men and women like, or should I say men like women who bring something to the table, whether it's emotional, financial, intellectual, or something. And relationships work best when both people invest, working towards and building a relationship where both are valued, supported, and uplifted. And we have to stop enabling this new age mentality where women think it's acceptable to constantly beg for money and offer nothing in return. And these women think it's cute. They do. They really think it's cute. But in reality, it's embarrassing. And if a woman is only in it for cash, she needs to be upfront with her intentions. Let's keep it 100. When these women claim that they don't owe you anything for the money they receive, including sex, no one believes it. They don't even believe it. They're delusional if you think that these men don't expect something in return. And typically it's sexual favors. So just go ahead and come on out and let everybody know you're a 304 and we can get it out the way early. Okay. And here's the deal. The next time a woman comes begging you for money, don't just hand it over, fellas. Okay. Next time she puts demands on you and tells you that she wants to go on an expensive date, don't just do it. Give her a cardboard sign and a cup and drop her off on the corner where she can beg properly. Because what she's doing is this begging is not building a relationship. It's just straight up pandering, a panhandling. And you brothers have to stop falling for these transactional relationships. Women like this want financial support without offering anything in kind of value. And whether it's emotional, like I said, emotional intellect, some people, they don't have the money you have. But what are you going to put in? You see? And they need to be honest with their intentions, and you need to force them to be honest with their intentions and call them out. You need to start holding women accountable for all this begging. It's time to start looking for women who bring something meaningful to the table and cut off the ones who are just liabilities. Now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got some more videos to review. Y'all hit the #1 button. And if you like what you're hearing, you like this good roasting, go ahead and hit the #1 button, and I'll be right back.
I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training. And we've been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, what do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurling. I'm not going to get, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm going to tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic.
Oh, wow. Shout out to the late, great Kevin Samuels, man. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. I'd like to get another 16 super chats. We got 4 in already. It'd be great to get some more. But, tonight we talking about these dusty broads, these dusty ladies out here. That's going to be my new term, these dusty ladies instead of these lovely ladies, these dusty ladies who are just begging. And you can't build an empire with a beggar. Okay, you need somebody better than the original podcast. I forget the little lady's name. I think they call it. We're gonna call it a sprinkle lady. Somebody type sprinkle in the chat room. That podcaster essentially, and for you guys who missed it, you can rewind. She essentially is giving women a strategy to find and attract wealthy men by frequenting upscale areas and events where these men are likely to be, such as fancy bars, country clubs. I don't know how you're going to get in the country club. I'm just saying, I don't know how you're going to get there. Typically, you need a membership, unless you want to work there. You can wash some dishes and get in there. But sporting events, high-end restaurants, And when you break the advice down, it revolves around positioning. It's teaching the women how to position themselves to be in place where affluent men gather. Okay, with the implied goal of catching their attention and securing some form of financial or lifestyle benefit by associating with these men. It's not even you. It's based on the fact that these men are just going to find you attractive physically. Not that you benefit them in any way intellectually, not that you're contributing to them. And if you ask half of these women, what is it exactly that they bring that they can help me with, or help me? How can you help me? Most of them have nothing in response. They're going to just say, I bring me, I bring love, I bring attention, stuff like nothing really that you can think, nothing that you can hold them to. Now, the thing is, that approach in itself is problematic. It's babble. It's broke woman babble. It's problematic in several ways or several reasons. And the advice comes across as both inaccurate and frankly just pathetic. Objectifying relationships is the first thing that stands out. Because see, that particular podcaster is promoting a transactional mindset where the focus is not on forming genuine connections or relationships, but rather on positioning herself or position a woman to get something out of a wealthy man. And this approach reduces relationships to a materialistic game. It ignores the emotional and intellectual and personal growth aspects that should be central to any relationship. And you're just basically putting yourself out there on the table as a piece of meat to be slaughtered at the butcher shop. That's it. All you're asking for is, you're saying I'm a sex object, here to be used for the right fee. And here's the thing: I want you ladies to understand. Rich men get approached probably more than most men, unless you're an athlete, a well-known athlete. Rich men and well-known athlete, irrespective of your color, you're gonna get approached. And so rich men are aware of what you women are doing because we have had these same approaches happen time and time and time. You don't think we know there's going to be a bunch of broke chicks hanging out at the VIP entrance? You don't think we know it's going to be a bunch of broke chicks hanging out at the bars that we frequent? They try to get into cigar bars. They try to get into sports bars. We know that you're going there for us because most of y'all don't even know anything about the sports. Wealthy men, and particularly those who frequent these kinds of places, are fully aware of women who are specifically targeting them for their money. We can smell you. We can look at you. We can look in your eyes and tell why you're there. These men are successful men. They are not naive. They know when they're being pursued solely for their wealth. The result is that women who follow this advice from this type of woman, right, are setting themselves up to be manipulated, used, or discarded by men who see through their intentions. And see, rich men often have no problem playing along, but, we'll take these women seriously, but we recognize, or should I say, we're never going to take these women serious because we recognize their shallow motives. So you're just setting yourself up to get used. What they're hoping to do is be able to get their hooks in this man some kind of way. Get their love hook. Oh, you love me. The money that these men give you. I mean, I used to go to the mall and just buy women purses. Here you go, baby. $1,000. That ain't nothing. That's spending change. Especially when I didn't really have any responsibilities. I was just making money. You make $800,000, $900,000 is nothing. You young, I'm 30-something years old. I'm fresh out of a divorce. I got $700,000-$800,000 in the bank. Here, I'll buy you a little Louis purse. That ain't nothing. Get drunk, walk through the mall, go to the Louis Vuitton store. That's back when I would hang out at the Galleria. And here you go. No problem. I got a chick. I bought her a purse 14 years ago. She still got that purse. And I'm like, damn, that's pathetic. You see what I'm saying? You haven't been able to bag a rich man since then. And so, I know that sounds bad, but that's nothing to me. It would probably mean more if a man who actually loved you and worked hard every day, who didn't make a lot of money, if he bought you a Louis Vuitton purse, you should cherish that. But if you're trying to use a rich man and he's willing to give you, that's the same price. $1,000 is the same price he'll pay for a high price hooker. If you just want me to keep it 100, if you just want me to keep it 100 with you, 1,000, that's pretty much the going rate. That's actually pretty cheap. You see? So just keep that in mind. This money doesn't mean anything. I'm giving you guys insight into what it's like to have money. When you start having money, money only means something to you when you don't have it. It means a lot more to you when you don't have it. When you do have it, it's like, whatever. It's a way to keep score. Doesn't make you feel better when you're sad. If your child is sick, you can take them to the doctor, but that still doesn't make you feel better. If you're feeling down and out, a little depressed, that doesn't make you feel better. If you're feeling lonely, it doesn't make you feel better. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Y'all hit the number 1 button, man. But this particular woman, and I'm talking about the lady who was up earlier, her advice, it encourages women to essentially hunt for rich men. And using that tactic, it comes across as predatory. And it's not about mutual interest or building a meaningful connection. It's about extracting some sort of value from someone based solely on their financial status. And that suggests, or should I say, this type of behavior is manipulative. And it mirrors the same transactional attitude that she suggested women avoiding men, right? Isn't that what women say? Men are predators, but you're praying that you're trying to be predators to these men, on these men. And it makes women sound desperate. Broke women sound desperate. If I have to give you money, I don't know you, you're not my woman, you're not my wife, and I have to give you money for your basic needs, like I got to pay $400 for your wig, you sound desperate. And in my mind, it reduces your worth. And look, it reduces your worth. In fact, it reduces your worth to how well you can attract wealth. And the minute you stop being able to attract wealth, guess what? You have no value anymore. That's a whole nother wall. The other thing is you're setting yourself up to get played. By following this type of strategy, women are entertaining relationships that are built on flimsy, superficial foundations. Rich men who recognize they're being targeted for their money always, they will often exploit this dynamic. You just engage in a short-term fling or a casual encounter without any real emotional investment. You in it for the same thing she's in it for. It's a business deal. And you women are setting yourselves up. You're setting yourselves up to be played. You're setting yourself up to be used for entertainment or temporary companionship. And I don't care what the brother says to you, what the white man says to you, what the Asian, Latin, it's no long-term commitment in sight. And he's not going to leave his wife. Most of these rich men are not going to leave your wife because, again, there's a set social status that he has with his wife, and he would trade the wife in for another one like her, but he's not going to trade her in for you because you're 304. You see, the other thing is there's a power imbalance that works against women when you're dealing with a rich man. You're trading your dignity for material gain without realizing that the rich men often know the game better than you do. We've been doing it longer. I've been doing this for 25 years and you 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that. Who has more? Who knows this better? The idea that a woman's value should be tied to her ability to attract a rich man, it devalues your self-worth. Instead of focusing on personal development and self-sufficiency and some sort of meaningful relationship with some man who sees you as valuable, right? This mindset that this woman fosters is one of dependency and reliance on others for validation and success. And it diminishes the woman's individuality and perpetuates a cycle where she depends on external resources for fulfillment, stuff that she can't even get herself. And so this lady, Shira 7, Sprinkle lady, It's teaching women to chase superficial relationships based on wealth, which not only sounds manipulative and predatory, but it also sets them up for failure. See, rich men are aware of these tactics, and women following their advice are likely to be exploited rather than finding genuine love or stability. The advice that this woman and other women like her, it promotes a shallow, materialistic approach to relationships, which ultimately undermines the value of both the women and any authentic relationship that she could have. Look, if she's a liability, she's not an asset, fellas. If she's a liability, she's not an asset. A girl who doesn't have she doesn't have transportation fare to visit someone that she claims she loves, she's a liability. If you have to constantly pay for her Uber or taxi or plane ticket, she's a liability, fellas. Are y'all with me? Shout out to Mark the Freelancer. I need 16 more super chats. I know that this point highlights the imbalance in the relationship where you have this woman who constantly depends on the other, even for the smallest expenses, such as transportation. You don't have $5 to get from this part of town to the next. And if someone claims to love you but can't afford to visit you on their own initiative, it suggests a lack of self-sufficiency and effort. You're basically going to be taking care of this woman. Love is about mutual support, effort, and contribution. A relationship should involve both man and woman actively investing in each other emotionally, financially, and practically. If she won't buy you a gift, nothing, won't pay for a meal, won't pay for groceries, she's not an asset. She's a liability. If you got a woman who repeatedly fails to take basic responsibility for their own needs, they become a liability. That's not a woman, that's a child. They expect to be carried without contributing. That's going to drain the other person emotionally, financially, and financially over time. You're going to feel like you're being used. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. It's your birthday. She can't get you a birthday or Valentine's Day gift, but expects you to bring down the world for her during her days. She's a liability. And this situation represents a fundamental lack of reciprocity in a relationship. Healthy relationships are built on mutual appreciation, where both man and woman show love and care through their gestures, including gifts. When one person expects lavish attention and gifts but fails to reciprocate in any way, it shows, and it should show you, it shows me a sense of entitlement and selfishness. And this creates an emotional imbalance where one person feels undervalued and unappreciated. And that's how many of these husbands feel. That's how many of you men feel. And see, relationships should involve both people celebrating and making each other feel special, not just one person consistently giving while the other one receives. A person who consistently fails to match effort or consideration in these special moments is not truly invested in the partnership. She don't like you. You hear me? She doesn't like you, fellas. And I understand that people have different love languages. Some people expect services. Some people want gifts. I get it. Some people want attention. But the bottom line is you got to figure out what it is that person wants and extend that gesture. But be reciprocal in what you do. Now, what we talking about? So we talking about assets and liabilities. I want you to be rich. I want to see you ball. I want to see you have money, fellas. I want to see you ball. Someone who can't comfortably call you on the phone for 5 minutes, right? Always flashing, complaining, requesting information. You understand? They're not willing to spend some time with you talking and constantly complaining to ask for something. That's a lack of effort to the commitment to the relationship. See, a person who prioritizes taking or spending meaningful time and having a connection with you, right? Or should I say a person who prioritizes taking from you as opposed to trying to form a meaningful connection with you, she's a burden. And this dynamic puts pressure on the other person to always provide. which leads to an uneven relationship. The constant request for material and financial help without offering emotional connection or companionship, that's a signal that the relationship is one-sided and transactional. A real woman who's in it for real, they're eager to talk to you. They're eager to share ideas. They're eager to bond with you. They're not just there to take from you. That's a liability, not an asset, fellas. That's a liability. I wonder how men cope with these ladies that think a relationship is an occupation, where she's supposed to be paid and taken care of. You see? How do we do that? They think sex is only a benefit to men. They exchange sex, right? They think it's a liability for them. You got wives out there who say, I'm gonna give you some of that sloppy toppy for if you dump the trash. That's what you're supposed to do, boo. If that's what you started off, then you don't exchange that. You give that willingly. You benefit from that too. But this point in itself addresses the mindset of some women who see relationships as purely financial. I'm gonna need to get some more super chats, or I'm gonna turn this church music on, because we're not gonna be in here wasting my time. It's been an hour and 11 minutes, and I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and give me 6 more super chats, and we need to get to 10 so I can win. You understand? So we got a lot of people in here. Go ahead and give me 6 more super chats. We'll work our way to 20, and that'll be plenty. But don't be cheap with Uncle D, the keynote speaker at the Black Manosphere 4.0. Hallelujah. Nevertheless, like I was saying, so y'all go ahead and make it happen. I'm gonna put this church music on in another 4 or 5 minutes if I don't start seeing these super chats, and we're gonna send you to Jesus. But here's the thing: I want to finish this point. These women who think that sex is only benefits men, right? And it's something that women, it's a liability for women. This point addresses a mindset that some women who see relationships is just a financial arrangement, where they're owed financial support or material benefits just because they're giving it up, just because they're in a relationship. This extends out to them having children. That's why they feel entitled to your child support and alimony if you've given them access. They feel like they're owed something. And they view the relationship as a form of a transactional arrangement. They literally feel as though they're leasing out their body to you, right? Right? And where their presence, particularly regarding sexual intimacy, is seen as their only contribution, expecting to be financially rewarded or taken care of in return just for that. And this mindset is dangerous and it's regressive because it reduces the relationship to a financial transaction rather than a mutual emotional and intellectual connection. And both men and women should contribute value in various ways, not just physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and financially. That's how you ensure a healthy, well-rounded relationship. Men find themselves in these relationships, feel exploited. They feel undervalued because the relationship lacks substance beyond money and material exchange. Shout out to my man, Torrin James. Y'all got another 2.5 minutes to give me 5 more super chats. I'm gonna turn this Jesus music on for y'all. So, but shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. Y'all got 2 minutes to throw some more super chats in there. I'm gonna need to get to 5 more super chats. I'm gonna throw this Jesus music on. So anyway, stop dating. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just put the Jesus. Y'all need to pay me. You're being cheap with Uncle D. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you to Jesus until I get 5 more super chats. I'll be back.
Cartier, they do a good job after.
So we appreciate you, Kevin. This is from our family to yours, to you.
Thank you
And
very much.
you've done so much for our family. You introduced me to this beautiful woman who is soon to be my wife. But
She shot her shot.
She got that significant character.
Significant character. There's so many of these little catchphrases.
I was actually listening to that broadcast with you three with Obsidian.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, let's go back to the Facebook group real quick.
Which one was it? The shoot the shot video?
And the thing is, you know, her family has Dominican roots. And so I was living down there.
I'm gonna check this out. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, this thing. Won't break. Woo! This the Ooh collection?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Legends, good luck.
Thank you.
I was thinking
This is a good day.
Sons of all, but then I was like, let's go.
This is the ginger one. Rust. Pink. That's new. Amber.
You can give her a shout out. You can give her a shout out next time you do a show. You can give her a shout out.
I'm gonna get
Oud collection, one of the best oud collections in the world, and nobody really knows about this. I need to talk about it. Told you, I've been hipping out the fragrances. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Oh, and there's a card in there.
Yeah. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels, man. It's always good to look through some of these old videos and see him, man. You know, I'm happy that that we were able to preserve his legacy, irrespective of all those horrible mistruths that were being spread about him. And you know, I will take time to make sure we acknowledge this man and his work. But nevertheless, shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. Guys, look, we need 3 more super chats. I trust you'll give it to me. And I think that I think you all know that I've earned it. You got to pay for quality. And so I give you all quality stuff. Now, here's the thing. You know, Kevin wanted me to talk about money, power, and those sort of things. And you're not going to get that everywhere. Like, for instance, you can't marry anybody. You can't date anybody and bring them around certain circles as related to money and power, because the other people in there aren't going to accept that from you all. The other women are going to push that woman to the side. So that, in effect, just because she's beautiful doesn't mean she's not a liability. And you have to stop dating liabilities, okay? No matter how beautiful she is. Beauty is a bonus. Somebody type beauty is a bonus in the chat room. What you need to do is focus on her content, okay? All right? You need to focus on her content. Date a lady who can add something meaningful to your life. Things like financial intelligence. My lady is very astute financially as far as investments and whatnot. And I think that's just pretty cool. You see? Emotional intelligence, right? She knows how to read the room. You know, these sort of things. Spiritual intelligence. That is outstanding. Beauty can be the initial attraction, but it should never be the sole reason you stay in a relationship, fellas. Beauty alone does not sustain a healthy relationship. I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, this is how chubby chicks win. You know what I'm saying? Chubby. Shout out all the chubby ladies out there. I'm not talking about obese. I'm just talking about a little healthy. You can win if you're these other things. A lot of men will step down in looks if you have these other attributes that you bring. What truly matters is the content of this woman's character, her mindset, and the value that she brings to the relationship. Women should look, as a man, you should look for qualities that will help grow and build and fulfill your life together, such as, like I said, understanding money management and being a responsible spender, understanding and managing emotions in a relationship. You know how to control yourself. Other thing, having a strong sense of purpose and values. You need a woman like that, and nobody is going to trade a woman that they have like that for some chick that they met at the doggone valet on their way to watch the Rockets game. You understand what I'm saying? See, a person who can add, I don't care what sprinkle lady says, all right? A woman who can add meaningful value to your life in these ways will help you thrive in all the other areas. You understand what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And I want you to date someone who's capable of managing and multiplying. Somebody type multiply. Somebody who can help you multiply whatever it is you have going on. Okay? Whatever she has, you give her one and she gives you something, one plus back. You understand me? You see? Your soul is going to be at peace when you have a woman like that. Not someone that all they do is take and take and take, and that's it. A relationship needs to be a woman. A relationship is where both people contribute and help each other grow. Dating someone who can manage their resources effectively and help multiply what you share with them leads to a peaceful, fulfilling situation. If you're dealing with a woman that's broke, she's going to be broke during the marriage. She'll be broke after the relationship. She's a brokey. You understand? You need a capable woman who can help ease your burdens rather than add to them. On the other hand, someone who's always on the receiving end, never contributing or taking any initiative to grow, she becomes a drain on the relationship. It's not just about giving financial support, but it's also about emotional, mental, and practical support. I'm talking to you fellas. I'm giving you real substance of what you should be looking for. See, a woman who support and uplifts you, and you uplift her and support her, it builds a stronger relationship. It's a more harmonious relationship where both people feel fulfilled. Otherwise, she's a parasite. All she is sucking you dry. She's a parasite. Now, I don't mean in a good way. Praise God. You understand what I'm saying? I need 3 more super chats. I'm not saying that she has to be rich. I'm not saying that and look, as I said before, she does not have to be the best looking woman, fellas. She does not have to be a 9 or a 10. You get you a good, strong 5 or a 6 and you winning. If you can get a 7 with all those attributes, good luck. But for the most part, a good 5 or 6, an average woman that has all those other attributes, man, that's a winner, man. She might be a little overweight. That's okay. She has those other attributes. I'm talking to you. Weight comes and goes. You see? Don't be so superficial that you miss your blessing, fellas. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You out there chasing 9s and 10s, and you end up with a gold digging, no good, lousy, broke broad that does nothing but tear down everything you try to build. And all you got is looks. And your kids might not even come out looking that good because you ugly. So you lost it in a generation. But a good, solid woman like that, she may not be the best in looks. She may not be the most slim. And look, I want you to get whatever you can on the sexual marketplace value. But as far as longevity and success and wealth and power, that woman who looks like the rest of those rich men's wives, she's not going to be perceived as a threat. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, fellas. Okay? Just think about that. And again, I'm not saying she has to be rich, but let her have something going on, no matter how little it is, because no matter how much money you make, she must be able to assist you during those rainy days. Somebody type rainy days in the chat room. And what I'm trying to do is emphasize that the importance of a woman having ambition and initiative. It's not about wealth, but having a sense of purpose and the ability to contribute in some way, no matter how small. A woman who is productive and independent within the realm of the structure that you create, she can step up and support you and support the family and support herself when times get tough, rather than relying on you solely. Even the wealthiest of households have challenges arise, and having a woman who can contribute in those moments of need, it helps strengthen the bond. Man, it's nice to be able to depend on your lady for these certain things. And the idea is to build a solid relationship where both people support each other and work together to overcome obstacles. And when you have when you have a woman who has something productive going on, whether it's a job, a side hustle, whether she works for you, or she has a passion project, she'll be better equipped to handle life's challenges alongside you. And it fosters a stronger, more resilient relationship. So these points, what I'm doing is I'm advocating for you to avoid relationships where you are consistently where this person is consistently taking and not giving back. Because a healthy relationship is about mutual support. It's about growth. It's about contribution, where both partners work together to build a fulfilling life, rather than one person constantly carrying the weight, man. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I got one more video for y'all to check out. But in the meantime, what I want you to do is hit the number 1 button. We'll be right back after we take a look at this video.
So if you want a high value men are not going to the bottom into the trenches to look for a woman. They're not there. High value men are not going there. Okay. So if you want a high value man, you need to start putting yourself in these areas where you can attract these kind of men. I'm just saying, they're not looking for no hood, rat, Section 8 housing, HUD housing, food stamp getting woman. They're not. They're not looking for a woman with a lot of kids. They're not looking for a woman with kids. So you already moved down a couple notches just based off of that. Now, you got kids, and on top of that, you on Section 8, and on top of that, you get food stamps, and on top of that, you get all the government assistance you possibly can get. You getting it. High value men are not looking for these kind of women, ladies. So if that's what we're doing. That's what we want. We need to start educating ourselves and putting ourselves in these kind of positions to where we can attract what it is that we want. I said what I said. High value men are not.
Now, this little lady here, she said much of the same things that the other lady, Sprinkle lady, said, but she said it in a softer tone. She's still talking about proximity, putting yourself in the position that will allow you to be in the presence of high value men. But still, they still are not talking about any substance. Okay, they're still basically showing up to beg, right? They're not showing up to bill, they're showing up to beg. And a woman must contribute too. And I've gone on and on about that. Nobody wants a broke broad anymore. Nobody wants a broke one. We are tired of broke broad babble. We are tired of broke women begging. We're tired of it. And so, this is really not something that in this day and age is not acceptable. Let's go ahead and try to break this down.
Not going there, okay? So if you want a high value men are not going to the bottom into the trenches to look for a woman. They're not.
Basically, she's saying they're not going to the ghetto to pick you up out the slum.
They're not there. High value men are not going there, okay? So if you want a high value man.
She's trying to help dispel the delusion that a lot of these women have, that their prince and their shining prince is going to come show up in his white Rolls Royce with a Birkin bag and a Tiffany's necklace to pick her up. That's not going to happen. But the other thing I noticed these women never mention is that there's going to be some rules and regulations associated with dealing with a man who has something and has structure and order and a system in place in his home, in his life, and most women can't handle that. You're not going to be working. You're not going to want to work out 6 days a week. You're not going to want to weigh all your food so you can maintain a certain size. And I'm just saying, again, I tell you brothers all the time, look for substance. But the truth is, men who have money and power, they're going to have access to women who are fit, feminine, beautiful, and cooperative. And the truth is, it's always going to be like that, and it always has been like that, because power is the greatest aphrodisiac. I don't care what kind of cologne you have on. I don't care how buff your muscles are. Shout out to my man Jalen Simon. Thank you so much. We'd like to get 12 more super chats, but it doesn't matter. If a man with power comes along, a president, a CEO, your woman is going to run away from you. At least she's going to give him some hard looks. So keep that in mind, fellas. I'm trying to give you the most potent aphrodisiac is power. Keep that in mind.
You need to start putting yourself in these areas where you can attract these kind of men.
You start putting yourself in these areas. Again, this is the same thing the other young lady is saying. Start putting yourself in these areas where you can attract other men, where you can attract these high value men. She's saying that merely being in their presence, they're not looking for you, baby girl. They're not looking for you. And I'm just going to keep it 100 with Black American women. I love you. I think you're beautiful. I think Black women are beautiful, but these rich white men and Arab men are not looking for you. And yeah, we have some high value men in the Black community, but you're not willing to compete with those men. As a matter of fact, Kevin Samuel said the best. Let me cut right quick. Your greatest competition is not a white woman or an Asian woman, it's the Latina woman. And let me tell you, these Venezuelan women who've hit the United States, 8 million strong, 4 million strong, they are totally changing the dynamic in some of these countries, in some of these states. These Venezuelan women are speaking to these guys in New York. They got a better attitude. Yeah, I know we got some Venezuelan migrants and whatnot. The truth is they're not going anywhere. Okay? Some of the guys are going to end up going to jail, but you can't put 15 million people on a boat and send them. Barack Obama sent home more immigrants than anybody else in the 8 years he was in, and it was only 1 million. And we got 15 million. Was it 15 million, 8 million? You're not going to send all of them home. So they're going to be here. And these Venezuelan women are going to change the culture of some of these major cities. You're going to start seeing a lot of these men saying, you know what, let me go ahead and pick up one of these Venezuelan women, or and in 20 years, their daughters are going to grow up and they're going to be more feminine. They're going to have a different culture, and it's going to start changing the vibe. It's a lot of competition out there. Maria is your greatest competition. That Latina woman who's going to steal all the Black men away. Look at all these Black men who are successful. If they don't have a white woman, they got a Latina woman. And the problem that Black women have is that you're not willing to compete, and you steady begging. Not that all women don't beg, but Black sister, you often feel like Black men are you have a certain entitlement over them, and it just is not going to fly well when you got other women who are willing to compete. Let's listen for the same men that you want. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. And the thing is, I'm going to tell men all the time, brothers, I want you to marry a woman of African descent. I would love for you to do that. But if you can't find a woman of African descent, whether it be foundational Black American, African, South American, Central, get you a woman who's fit, feminine, beautiful, and treats you well with respect. Go ahead and do that. You'll be fooled if you didn't. You understand? So, here we are. Here we are. You not willing to compete and you're begging. So you're a lazy begging woman. That's basically what it is. That's not gonna go very far. Let's keep listening.
Saying they're not looking for no hood, rat, Section 8 housing, HUD housing, food stamp getting woman. They're not. They're not. Yeah. They're not looking for a woman with a lot of kids. They're not looking for a woman with kids. So you already.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I hear a lot of people recycling Kevin Samuel's talking points. She made a conclusionary sort of statement. And it's easy to see if you just look at Kevin's old videos from back in the day. He dispelled all those myths. You got 3 or 4 kids, you're out of shape, you live in the ghetto, you don't have a job, they're not looking for you. And so all this woman is doing is saying the same thing Kevin said, and she's repackaging. And that's cool. But you're still dealing with a certain level of delusion. I'm not even dealing with that. I'm dealing with the begging. Somebody type begging. We need to add begging on to that. Because at the end of the day, these women are still trying to put themselves in the face of high-value men, hoping that they'll pick them up. That ain't cool, man.
Move down a couple notches just based off of that. Now, you got kids, and on top of that, you on Section 8, and on top of that, you get food stamps, and on top of that, you get all the government assistance.
You're not going to get a high-value man. Somebody give me 2 more super chats. You might just want to go apply for another EBT card. I need 2 more super chats.
You getting it. High value men are not looking for these kind of women, ladies. So if that's what we're doing, that's what we want. We need to start educating ourselves and putting ourselves in these kind of positions to where we can attract what it is that we want. I said what I said.
That ain't gonna even do it, baby. Baby girl, No, baby girl, no. Anyway, and like I said, and this
groups of women:
we'll be right back.
Latinas, Asians, and Eastern Europeans. These women are taking all the high value men. No matter where I go across this country, the men of value, whether they're blue collar, white collar, whether they're rakish, rugged, or refined, black women need to understand something, that your biggest enemy is not a white woman. Your biggest enemy is Marisol. Your biggest enemy is the Hispanic woman. She understands how to season food. She understands sensuality, femininity, and she was raised in a patriarchal environment. The difference between femininity and fake femininity is amazing. The Latina problem. Black women, you have a problem. Her name is Maria. Marisol. Love some brothers. And when you're talking about what you bring to the table, these women are bringing tables. Oh,
they bring the whole table. Praise God. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels, man. But anyway, shout out to Tony Jones. Look, I need one more super chat. Here's the thing. I'm not going to belabor the point. No more broke broad. Somebody type broke broad babble in the chat room. You guys have heard a lot of broke broad babble. If you're looking for a high value man, that means you wasn't raised by one. That's what that means. Because if you were raised by a high value man, you wouldn't have to look for one. There would be plenty of high value men around you, because your father would have other high value men who are his friends, and they would have sons, and those sons and their friends will be in your area. So this is all broke broad babble right here. This is unaccredited broke broad babble, and we just got to deal with it, fellas. I don't want you to get caught up with that. Don't stop feeling guilty about telling these broke broads. No, I've been told you fellas before, you got to be ready to step over the bodies. And when I say step over the bodies, what I mean is all these broke begging people with their hand out and their cup out asking for money, they're just panhandlers, okay? And I want to make it clear, all right? It's time to grow up, ladies. It's time to get over the entitlement. You can't keep expecting a man to carry the entire load while you sit back and offer nothing in return. Life doesn't work like that, and neither should relationships. If you're not willing to contribute emotionally, financially, intellectually, then don't be surprised when men walk away. Even black men who've been dedicated to you. If you want respect, if you need to, then you need to bring something to the table. And for those of you still think it's cute to let a man pay your way while you do nothing, it's not. It's embarrassing. You want to be treated like a queen, then act like one instead of a bum. Build, grow, and contribute to the relationship, or else you're just a liability. Stop relying on outdated mentalities and start understanding that modern relationships require both people to pull their weight. All right? It's time to grow up. It's time to get over it. It's time to carry the load. You can't sit back. Life doesn't work like that. And neither should relationships. Okay? You need to contribute emotionally, financially, intellectually. And don't be, it's not 1950s anymore. Period. Somebody type grow up in the chat room. It's time to grow up. It's time to play grown up. It's time to level up. And no more excuses. Nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I love you guys. As I always say at this time, when it's time for me to get up out of here, I'm out.
In the Spurling podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.